What's going on, people? It's your boy Cal Wu, and welcome to another episode of Planet Wu's sports anime to watch during this downtime of the COVID-19 virus. You know, with all of us being quarantined. The next series of sports I'm going to be doing is the American pastime, which is baseball. So I have 3 anime for you. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with the anime Battery. Battery follows main character Takumi Harada, who is from a big town, and him and his family end up moving to a smaller town, which is where his mother is from, to go move in with his grandfather. The reason they're doing this is because their grandmother just recently passed, and they didn't want the grandfather to be alone. So the family upped and moved to the small town where his mother was from, and Takumi ends up running into a bunch of new kids while he went out, or not new kids because he was the new kid, but ran into some locals and end up meeting Go Nagakura, who is a huge fan of his because he watched him on television play during one of the national tournaments for middle school. So Go is like, yo, I'm a huge fan of yours. Your pitching is cold. You got one of the best fastballs I've ever seen. I want to catch one of your pitches. I want to be your catcher. Boom. So the two link up and forms the new battery for the high school because they're starting high school. 2 things. High school in Japan is kind of different because high school in Japan starts at the 10th grade. So it's 10, 11th, and 12th grade is Japan's high school years. Also, another thing is the term battery. I don't know if the term battery is used in America or not. I've never heard it. It might be something that's used or coined currently. But when I played baseball, it was a term I had never heard of until I started watching this anime. For those that don't know, because it took me a minute to figure it out, and I figured it out while watching the series, is the term battery means the people who are the starters to jumpstart the defense for a team in baseball, which is usually the pitcher and the catcher. So that is your team's battery. Reason the pitcher is the team's battery because, boom, that's the person that pitched the ball. That's the person that opens the games and closes the games. Whether you pitching with 1 person, 2 people, 3 people, you got your openers, your closers, and your mid-game people. They are the ones that pace your defense, seeing as baseball is mostly a defensive game. Your catcher is also in charge of pacing your defense because let's say you got a person on first base and the catcher misses the ball and the ball bounces and goes behind the catcher. That leaves plenty of space and open the opportunity for the person on first base to steal second base. So boom, so essentially pitcher and catcher are your 2 most important spots on your defense, aka the battery, the jump starters. So Takumi and Go are the batteries for their high school, and the anime is literally a slice of life that's just about their relationship, Takumi's relationship with his classmates, with other players on the team, with his family, and watching this anime, I can easily and clearly say that Takumi is trash. Terrible kid. He's one of those kids that if he was my kid, I'd probably be hitting him in his mouth every 2 seconds. I know y'all be like, oh, that's abuse, blah, blah, blah. Watching it, this is the main character that I've seen get hemmed up, punched, choked the most out of any main character in any anime I've ever seen, including the fighting ones. For the simple fact of how short this anime was, and then how much physical abuse he took because his mouth and his attitude. It just was too much. And it all was well deserved. And even his catcher choked him up and punched him as well. And it all was well deserved. He's terrible to his mother with his attitude. His grandfather kind of gets a little bit. He's terrible to his brother. His younger brother, Saiha, is very intuitive and actually not too bad at throwing the ball, but because he's a frail kid and get winded real easily, he's kind of sickly. Takumi is like, yeah, you're never going to be a baseball player. Stop, quit, you're whack, you're trash, you can't even keep up with me. running. You take 2 steps out of the house, you about to die. Get out my face. So that's a terrible big brother right there. You're supposed to encourage your brother first and foremost. As an older brother, you have the responsibility of encouraging your younger brother. And then if it gets to a point where you feel like, yo, this is not for you, then you sit him aside and explain to him like, yo, I feel this might not be for you. I'm worried about your health, blah, blah, blah. It's a way that you lay it out instead of telling your brother like, nah, straight up, you trash. You can't do this. You suck. And also his attitude got him jumped too by upperclassmen, which was interesting in itself. Battery is a really dope anime. As I stated before, it's a slice of life that follows Takumi. Just like I said, just his interaction overall with everybody, the world around him is really good. I'm a big fan of Go. Very insightful guy, very down to earth. Has this real little battling thing where he's like battling between wanting to be a baseball player and then quitting and like focusing on becoming a doctor and going to med school because his family runs the hospital and a pharmacy in their small town. Is actually named after his family, the Nagakura Hospital. So that gives his character layers, and he gets upset and pissed off at the main character, and he's just a very interesting character. Definitely my favorite character in the show. The one thing I didn't like about the show is how short it was and where it left off at. It pretty much ended with a pitch being hit during a scrimmage game, and we don't know what happened. We don't know if it was an out. We don't know if it's a home run. We have no clue. So if you want to know anything else that happens in that anime, you definitely have to read the manga. I just wished it would at least finished this season in its entirety with the scrimmage game. One more, maybe 2 more episodes, and now I would have been satisfied. But it still was a good watch nonetheless. If you're a fan of baseball and like slice life anime, this is definitely the anime for you. The next anime I'll be discussing is Major. Major follows main character Goro Honda, who is the son of minor league turned major league pitcher in Japan, Shigeharu Honda. Goro is a really, really good main character. He's in kindergarten, so he's 5 years old. He aspires to be a pitcher and be a star like his dad. In this anime, his family falls on hard times because his mother, Chiaki, ends up dying from an unknown illness or a disease while he was young, which caused his father to kind of go into a depression, work out extra hard, and just so he can like maintain the lifestyle so he don't fail his son. He ends up injuring himself, having a shoulder injury, and that derailed and sidelined his whole professional career. In doing so, he ends up getting cut from the team that he was on, and he's sad because he felt like he failed his son. So you kind of watch this dual type thing where Goro is practicing at school. His teacher, Miss Hoshino, takes a liking to him. She kind of helps take care of him while his dad is out of town, but the dad don't know it. So she like goes to the house and make sure he eats and like make sure he's in a bath, and he goes to bed on time so he can wake up for school the next day. Pretty much just doing her due diligence as a kindergarten teacher to make sure that her students are good. One day, Goro meets a kid in his neighborhood named Toshiya, who he helped. I'm not gonna say help because he was kind of like a shelter kid that was all into his studies because his mother's like, you can't play outside, you gotta focus on your studies because if you don't do good on your studies, you're gonna fail as an adult and not be able to take care of yourself. Is pretty much what she told Toshiya. So one day, Toshiya's looking out the window and he watches and he sees Goro playing baseball in the school park by himself. So Goro ends up noticing him and like goes and knocks on the door like, yo, come out, play baseball with me. I ran home, got an extra glove. Come on, let's play catch with me. And Toshiya ends up finding out he's actually a natural. He has a real good knack for throwing and catching a ball. So Goto's like, yeah, we good friends, blah blah blah. Let's play baseball together, man. This is hype. I don't have any friends. You're my first one, blah blah blah. Like, boom, let's do it. So, you know what I'm saying? They formulate this friendship that's really good. Shigeharu ends up practicing and training and becoming trains to become a designated hitter. For those that don't know, the designated hitter on the team's job is literally just to hit the ball. Most designated hitters don't play any field positions, and if they do, they play like some of the easier infield positions, like first base or third base. Some play outfield. Some play outfield too. But the designated hitter job is literally just to hit the ball. That's the only reason you're on the team. They don't need you for field, none of that stuff. They need you just to hit the ball and help your team score on offense. So, Shigeharu trains to be a designated hitter. And he goes back to his old team and is like, yo, y'all, I want y'all to give me another chance. I know that y'all not going to give me a chance as a pitcher because I'm older. I got a shoulder injury. It's a lot of young guys that y'all can give a chance that got a chance to develop. So just give me a chance to hit. So they're like, all right, we'll give you a chance. Go out to the field, and we're going to see if a pitcher is here to throw balls at you or whatever. So his high school friend, one of his good friends, was there getting a massage early and was like, yeah, that's my homie. I'm going to go pitch for him. So they like, they had this little spiel like, don't take it easy on me. You better, you better do good because I'm not going to take it easy on you type deal. Boom, they go at it. He does good during that tryouts and ends up making a team as a designated hitter. And then, as he makes the team, he finally tells his son, surprises him with tickets to the game and has the teacher take him to the game. He ends up getting put in the last play of the game as a designated hitter, and he cracks a home run and helps his team win. And he pretty much does that throughout the whole season. Helps his team win. Even though they didn't win a championship, he helped his team win a lot of games so they can make it, but they end up not winning. One of the things that was very interesting in this anime to me, as I watched a couple of the seasons, but the first season is fresh. I rewatched the first season recently, and it's fresh in my mind. Is that you end up finding out a lot about the rules of Little League Baseball through Goto and some mistakes. For the simple fact that Goto, him and Toshiya end up going to the practice to a Little League team. And Little League, in order to play Little League, you got to be at least 9 years old in order to play Little League Baseball. And he went as a 5-year-old and like, yeah, let me and my friend play with y'all, blah, blah, blah. And they like, no. He goes on a pitcher mound like, yo, I'm going to pitch this ball. Dad, you probably ain't even going to make it to the base. Get out of here, kid. So they end up throwing him out. So what they did is they went close to the field, like up on a hill, and played pitcher and catcher. And end up impressing the coach. So the coach brought him down like, yeah, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. And he had him throwing a hard ball. So when his dad found out, his dad was like, yo, no, the fuck? Ended up finding out who the coach of the team was. The team was the Mufune Dolphins. He ended up finding out who the coach was. Went to the coach, was like, yo, you not about to have my son out there playing. You not about to train him how to throw a hard ball. You're not going to train him how to throw curveballs, none of that stuff. You trying to destroy my son's career before it even start. Because in Japan, they're a firm believer that your body, when you're younger than 9 years old, your body isn't developed enough to throw a hard ball. And if you throw a hard ball before then, like repeatedly, you'll have a higher risk of injuring your shoulder. And that's like in their whole country. That's like the rules in their country. So watching this anime exposed that to me. It was really dope. Another thing in the anime that kind of jacked me up was a little bit was Shigeharu ended up dying. The second season started in the second baseball season that he was in. And he ended up like getting promoted to playing first base and batting. He wasn't just a designated hitter anymore. Their rival team ended up bringing in this guy from America, from the MLB, who had won a Rookie of the Year, won a pennant. He pretty much shut people completely out. He averaged no hits a game and was just a man. So they hired him to come. And like earlier in the season, Shigeharu's team faced their rival team, and he like, yeah, this is about to be a good one. So Shigeharu ended up hitting off the dude. His name was Joe Gibson. Ended up hitting off of him, Then the team ended up getting the momentum and ended up bunting off of him. He was getting pissed because everybody was bunting off of him because he was being disrespectful. Because what he was doing was when he faced a Japanese batter, he showed no respect by only throwing fastballs. And then whenever he faced an American or a batter from another country that was on the team, he would throw not sinkers, not changeups, but breaking balls. He would throw breaking balls. And in doing so, everybody like started following suit. Like, okay, this is what he doing. This is what he doing. And Shigeharu literally had like wrote it down in the notebook as people was going to bat the type of pitches he was throwing to the different players, and he had noticed the pattern. So he said it to the team. So everybody started going off of that. So Japanese players were bunting the ball and getting on base and stuff, and he was pissed. So when Shigeharu got back up to bat, he was like, yeah. Joe Gibbs was like, yeah, this is disrespectful. Players are doing this. This ain't baseball. I'm about to show them. And threw a fastball and hit Shigeharu in the head and cracked the helmet. Shigeharu got up, got a new helmet on, and yanked that bitch. Home run. His team won the game. But Shigeharu ended up dying a little bit after that from blood on the brain. From the trauma of the ball hitting him. So Goto ended up getting adopted by his teacher, Miss Hoshino, who was at the time engaged to his dad. So it turned into a really, really sad story. But one thing about Majors that was really, really dope to me was the fact that Major is a continuation anime. So it follows Goto from like him being in kindergarten and like aspiring to be like his dad. And then him going to middle school and playing, and then going to high school, and then making it to the minor league, then making it to the pros. And it's something that's going on. It's actually just re-released the second season for the his professional American bout is out now. First episode actually just dropped a few days ago, if I'm not mistaken. And it's really, really dope. So if you ever thought about like, man, I wonder how my favorite baseball players started off as a kid, learning the game of baseball, and then all the way up to how they are now, Majors is that anime that you should be watching. It's super dope. It's down to earth. It got some funny elements. It got some sad elements to it. Goto has a lot of layers to him as you see him grow from a little kid and being mature into an adult. And it's also a slice of life anime. So if you like slice of life and you really, really want to see the transition of a player from childhood to adulthood in a sport, Major is the anime that you should be watching. Last anime I'm going to be talking about as far as baseball goes is Ace of Diamonds. Ace of Diamonds follow main character Eijun Sawamura, who is in middle school when they first show him. And he's an ace who has a natural knack for throwing change-ups and breaking balls. And he's really good. So he's like, yeah, I'm about to go to the local high school with all my boys. We about to be killing it. We about to make it to tournaments. We about to have all type of fun. And he like, I'm about to be living a life. But then he ends up getting a letter in the mail from a prestigious high school called Saito High. So he goes to their, he gets an invite. So he ends up going and seeing what their program is about. And him going and seeing that changed his life forever. He was like, yo, I'm never going to my local high school. I'm never going to be able to deal with this talent, this amount of talent as far as players go. My talent might not ever develop. I get to practice against these people every day. I get to pitch against these people every day. He's like, yeah, I'm going there. So he ends up going to Saito High. Quickly learns that as much as he feels he's the man or thought he was the man, he's not. And yeah, and pretty much at that point, that's pretty much what Ace of Diamonds is about. At least that first season. And that first season was him falling into his role as being in the supporting cast of trying to help the seniors win. And this is once again just like Battery. And for those that don't know, it's important for seniors to try and win their final year. And reason being is because after the national tournament is over, seniors retire. And the reason the seniors retire is because major state testing goes on at that time. And that's their final chance of doing really, really well in their state testing so they can get into a good university. So they take it very, 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 very seriously. So he pretty much just spent his time trying to help his team win. And then as you go to the seasons forward, he's transitioning into like, the next year and then becoming a senior himself and then trying to win and stuff like that. The anime is really dope. I enjoy Sejun's layers as a guy that was like the top of his class, and then coming to the school and realizing like, yeah, I ain't as good as I thought I was. Like, I'm good, but these dudes is better. Like, boy, these guys are good. And that made me appreciate the anime so much more. So yeah, so if you like I said, baseball anime, I guess you can consider it might be a shonen. I'm not sure if it was in Shonen Jump, but it's more popular than the other two anime, and it's really good. I think it might fall in the shonen slash slice of life. If you're into baseball, you're into shonen, you're into slice of life, definitely check this anime out. It's really good. It's really dope. What's going on, people? It's your boy Calvin from Planet Woo. Once again, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. The animes that we covered are as followed: Battery, Major, and Ace of Diamonds. And all these anime coincide with my life, and they are and I rocks with them, especially as being a guy that played Little League baseball, and I like end up making it to like the special league called like a travel team. So I was good enough in my on my team and in my league that I made it to the travel team, and I got to travel around the country and play baseball and won a trophy with my travel team. Was like definitely a highlight of my childhood. I played baseball for 4 years. I've been playing baseball since I was 4, so I really identify with Godo Honda. On that note, my dad taught me how to hit curveballs then, so curveballs was like the ball that I never missed. I always yanked those out the park because my dad trained me starting at the age of 4 to hit that type of ball. Also, I identify with Ijun really well because when I played Little League ball, I played shortstop, and then my IQ got to the point where I got good enough and I transitioned to second base. And I was able to make a lot more plays at second base than I was at shortstop. I had a lot more double plays at second base than I did at shortstop. Actually, at shortstop, I had none. Once I transitioned to second base, me and my guy who was at first base is a dude named Brandon. Me and him actually averaged the most double plays in our league, and we actually got a little like paper certificate award for it. Because I think we got like 10 that year, and I think we only played like 12 or 15 games, so we pretty much just about average double play a game. And my batting average, me, Brandon, and my cousin Aaron, our batting average was 850, which anybody that knows baseball knows that's ridiculous. But one of the things that made me, I say all that to state how I coincide with Ijun, for the simple fact that though that was like great, I'm like, yeah, our team is good, blah blah blah, and the one team we could never beat was the Braves. We beat all the other teams regularly. All the other teams were able to beat the Braves, but that was one team we could never ever beat, and that frustrated the hell out of me. That was like the cause to me crying a lot playing Little League baseball, was losing to the Braves. And that humbled me a lot playing the game. And then when I joined the travel team, I was teammates with some of the peoples from the other teams and the Braves and some older kids that was on some of the older teams. And we went undefeated and we balled all the way out of control. And I played shortstop and second base on that team as well, which definitely, like I said, was a highlight of my childhood. And yeah, man. But once again, thank y'all for rocking with me. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hit the like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Hit the bell icon at the bottom so that whenever I post new content or go live, you guys will be notified of it. Every 2 weeks I go live doing my game show, Throne of Nerds. If you're interested in participating, it's a cash prize at the end of the year for the grand finals. You can hit me up on any of my social media. You can also hit me up in the comments below. And yeah, this is Cal signing off. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Peace.
I like watching anime and I like reading the manga.
I do.
I like working out my body, then detoxing the sauna.
I do.
I like watching your ass shake, cause it jiggle little mama.
So
and you
good.
know that's what I like, so it ain't never a problem. I
It
like
ain't.
to play my Xbox, cause it just lets me cope.
Hard days.
Ranking all these fucking noobs, teabag with no scope. Yeah, they call me a nigger, but that don't hurt me no more.
No
Because
more.
I really am that nigga that'll turn your heart cold. I
It's
like
him.
to play me some ball everywhere that I go.
I do.
All these kids shooting threes, give me that bitch in the post. Then I give them a shimmy, hit a spin move so clean. Hook shot on your whole team. Hakeem, it's just a dream. I like to go to the Coney after all my drinking. Double
good.
bacon deluxe, please. Then I forget the cheese. And I like going so hard. A retract that I have, and everybody just know that my Jack can rap. Cause I like fucking my wife. I make her come 3 times, and then she screaming out my name. And that is when I realize that I give them that shit that make these niggas not quit. Look me in my eyes now, I'm the captain of the ship. And it's the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, it's the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like. It's the shit that I like, this the shit that I like. This the shit that I like, it is the shit that I like.
Board game with the fam is a passion of mine. Anime in the bed while I'm sipping some wine.
Drink up.
And when I'm in the mood, manga reading is a must. Cosplaying for a nigga. And you my La Latina. When I get a little rough, that lust be all in your demeanor. I'm on it.